Well, happy Father's Day to all you dads watching this Yankees-Mets game today, and it's quite a game as the fans file in. They'll watch CC Sabathia throw the first pitch, and you'll get to see every pitch as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the New York Mets in the rubber game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael K. Both of us and everybody at the Yes Network, we send out our Father's Day wishes. And if you're a dad sitting home liking baseball, you're going to love this pitching matchup. Two of the best pitchers ever, really, to tell you the truth. Two former Cy Young Award winners. And let's look at today's New York lottery pitching matchup. Johan Santana will go for the Mets, 5-3 with a 3.13 ERA. And CC Sabathia, 7-3, a 4.00.
Well, two pitchers that are used to pitching in big ball games, and they make the big money because of it. Santana, of course, has a great changeup, great breaking ball, and a tremendous fastball. He got the best of Sabathia earlier this year at Citi Field. Now, CC has come on of late. He's won his last three starts, and this is a look at him against the Philadelphia Phillies, the National League champions, and he had his strikeout pitch working. CC won that ball game as the Yankees went on to beat the Phillies, and CC is on a roll of late.
How good are these two pitchers? Check this out. Since 2004, Santana has the most wins in the big leagues with 104. Sabathia with 100. So Sabathia is going to try to pull to within 3 today. Oswalt and Holiday will follow those two. Now, the Yankee offense is going to need to really step it up against Santana. Yesterday, they did. They broke out of their lumber slumber. We'll break it down next on segment 2 right here on Yes. Singleton, I'm Michael K. We're moments away from the first pitch of the rubber game of this three-game set between the Yankees and the Mets. Well, the Yankees have had a power outage of late, but yesterday they became the Bronx Bombers again.
Yes, they did, and they needed it. They were trailing at the time in the third inning when Mark Teixeira came to the plate with a man on. Mike Pelfrey, having a good season, gets one to go for Mark Teixeira. Jeff Francoeur has the last look at it. The game is tied at 3. The Yankees still had some power on their mind. It was Curtis Granderson in the fourth inning. Once again, a man on base. This one is hung in the middle of the plate, and it had plenty of hang time until it landed in the seats in right field, and the Yankees win that ball game by a score of 5-3, courtesy of the power that Michael was talking about.
And the power of being a father. Today is Father's Day, and we'll come back with lineups, first pitch baseball, but as we lead you into break, let's listen to some of the Yankees give their Father's Day greetings.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. Hi, I'm Robinson Cano, and I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the world.
Happy Father's Day. I love you so much. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me in my life. I appreciate you.
It's brought to you in part by McDonald's. Head to McDonald's for a refreshing, large, sweet tea on the dollar menu. Price and participation may vary. By Honda, look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. And by Johnny Walker, demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Super Bowl winning quarterback Drew Brees is going to throw out the first pitch. Let's see if he has that same... little Breeze doesn't want to go anywhere, so Drew's going to have a rush in his face as he throws this one. And there you go. Still has the arm.
That receiver is always open.
Cervelli was wide open there. And the little Breeze wanted no part of it. There you go. So Drew Brees, who had really a fairy tale season last year with the Saints, bringing that troubled area of the country a Super Bowl. So congratulations to him and the first pitch as well. Well, the Yankees have taken the field. Now Drew Brees gave his first pitch, and now it's time for CC Sabathia to warm up. Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup presented by Lexus. Jose Reyes, 2 home runs yesterday. He's been hot. He leads off and plays shortstop. Batting second and playing center field, Angel Pagan. David Wright at third base will bat third. Cleaning up and playing first base, Ike Davis. Jason Bay in left field will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Rod Barajas. Fernando Tatis, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing right field, Jeff Francoeur. And Ruben Tejada, the second baseman, is going to bat ninth.
Well, let's check out the numbers on CC Sabathia for the season, and they have been improving of late. In fact, the CC was had a little bit of a slump going there, but right now he's making his 15th start of the year. His record is 7-3, an ERA of even 4, and 92 in the third innings, only 82 hits allowed, 30 walks, 76 strikeouts. And let's take a look at the Jeep Pitcher Scout Report on CC Sabathia. Well, he's got a birthday coming up next month. He'll be 30 years old, but for pitchers under 30 years of age, he has the most wins in baseball. 143 wins for CC Sabathia. This is where he was last year at this time, 6-4. This year he has one more win, one less loss, and a power changeup. Be interesting today to see how many outs he gets on his changeup and how many swings and misses. That's a very effective pitch for him.
Beautiful day here at the stadium. A little hot, a little humid, but hey, it's almost summer. Why not? Good baseball weather. Sabathia is ready. Jose Reyes digs in. He has an 11-game hitting streak. So those two are ready. We're ready, and let's do it. Here in the Bronx, as the big left-hander deals, the first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Reyes 21 for 48 over his 11-game hitting streak. He's getting his average up there. He's at 276. He had a home run in each of his first 2 at-bats against Phil Hughes yesterday, the 0-1. Popped up. Mark Teixeira is called off by Cano. Cano makes the play, and there's one out. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. That's left to right. Infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. That's third to first. Cervelli behind the plate. And Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. First 2 games of the series, sellouts, both of them over 49,000. This one will probably be the third straight as Angel Pagan digs in. He has an 8-game hitting streak, 12 for his last 34. Pitch outside. Yeah, the Mets have 2 explosive players at the top of their lineup, both on hitting streaks. Reyes is on an 11-gamer, as Michael said, Pagan on an 8-game hitting streak, and they kind of set the table as switch hitters at the top with speed. The 0-1. Line in the left field. Coming on is Gardner. Got a good jump. Runs it down for the second out.
Pagan's got a little more pop right-handed. That's his natural side, and he gets the charge into this one. But Gardner plays it well, closes the gap with ease. Didn't even look like he was running very hard. Of course, that's somewhat of slow motion, but he covers a lot of ground. He has center fielder speed playing left field for the Yankees.
Here's David Wright. David, 12 hits in his last 36 at-bats. You see his numbers for the season. You know, Joe Girardi was telling me today, Kenny, he said everybody looked at the Mets last year and, you know, what happened to them, why did they have such a bad season? He said 2 guys are eminently important to them. Jose Reyes was out for most of the year, and David Wright had a bad season. He said now you look at both of them, they're back to what they should be. He said the Mets are a good team because of that.
And they're getting pretty good pitching, too, starting pitching. Reyes, the Yankees saw what he could do in this series yesterday with a couple of home runs.
1-0. There's a strike. Sabathia, 94 miles an hour, so a good fastball early. And he wants to work quickly and economically today because it's steamy out on the field right now. The 1-1. Grounded left side and through for a base hit. Now, Alex is playing third base right now, but you could see he just does not have that explosion to his left. And that ball went right through the left side of the infield. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea.
Here's that ball as well hit. I don't think he would have gotten to it anyway, but as you can see, he little hesitation. And not that we saw the same sort of play in Baltimore, and he came out of the game down at Camden Yards.
There's the weather we promised you, 85 degrees, 62% humidity, not much wind. The forecast mostly cloudy, and there are possible thunderstorms ahead. So a base hit for right, and that's going to bring up Ike Davis, and Ike Davis takes a strike.
Ceremonial inserting Davis in the cleanup spot. When you think around the major leagues and you look at lineups, how often do you see a rookie batting cleanup for a ball club that's expected to contend? That shows you what they think of Ike Davis.
And being a lefty batter gives him some balance between right and Bay. Outside the Met clubhouse yesterday, walking, at the end of the game toward the parking lot, there was Ike's proud dad, former Yankee Ron Davis. Big grin on his face, seeing his son play against his former team.
Wow. That's a good Father's Day present.
Yeah.
And I actually hit against his dad. That's how long ago that was.
He threw hard, right, Ron Davis?
Oh, he had nasty stuff. Good, hard, sinking fastball. Set up Goose Gossage. Like he was from the frying pan into the fire.
1-1. And that was really before the advent of setup.
Yeah.
He was really the first real setup guy.
When those two got in the game, you know that you were really messed up.
Just underway here at the stadium. Crowd still filing in. These two teams have split the first two games. Yankees won yesterday 5-3. Mets won on Friday 4-0. Runner goes. The throw to second on one hop. And right with a stolen base.
One of the most underappreciated aspects of David Wright's game is the fact that he could steal bases, and he took a very inauspicious lead. He was a very small lead, not to draw attention to himself, but as soon as the first move was made by CC Sabathia, almost got hit by the ball by Cervelli. He's taken off for second, so he gets a great jump. Cervelli trying to make up time. Actually threw a player out from his knees yesterday, but couldn't do it today. So Wright's 12th stolen base of the year.
So now Ike Davis has a runner in scoring position. And the 3-1. Foul back 3-2. This is the same situation as we had on Friday, where Davis singled to right. And then Wright scored ahead of the throw by Nick Swisher. And you didn't think that run would hold up, but it did. The Yankees didn't score on Friday. Mets also scored a run in the first inning yesterday on Reyes' leadoff home run. So Sabathia wants to stop it right here. Runner at second, 2 outs, 3-2 count on Ike Davis. The pitch. Swung and a miss, got him on a breaking ball. So Sabathia keeps the Mets off the board here in the first. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 man left. The Mets nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. Derek Jeter didn't play yesterday with the bad heel, but he's back in the lineup. Captain, the shortstop, leads off, batting second and playing right, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll hit third. Alex Rodriguez at third base cleans up. Batting fifth and playing second base, Robinson Cano. Jorge Posada will DH, he'll bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Francisco Cervelli will catch, he's going to bat eighth. Batting ninth and playing left field, Brett Gardner.
Johan Santana on the mound for the New York Mets this afternoon. There are the numbers. This is start number 15, 5-3. Very good earned run average, 3.13. Less than a hit per inning, 59 strikeouts. Strikeouts are down this year, and the opponent's hitting 238. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouting report on Johan Santana. Well, he's got 127 victories in his career. That's the most ever for a pitcher from Venezuela. And he was the first ever 20-game winner back in 2004 from Venezuela. And right-handed batters, because of that tremendous changeup, are hitting just .218 against Santana.
And the pitch to Derek Jeter is a strike. Jeter, 4 hits in his last 29 at-bats, so a little bit of a slump for the captain. And the average down to 280.
Now, one thing they've said about Santana, one thing we'll keep an eye on this afternoon, is the fact that his velocity on his fastball has been down somewhat this year. He used to be up near the mid-90s earlier in his career.
Ground ball to second, gobbled up by Tejada. One away. Well, here's the difference, Kenny.
No.
His velocity, his fastball velocity average this year, 89.2. And that's his lowest ever. Now, in 2004, when he won his first Cy Young Award, fastball velocity was 92.4. And in 06, he also won a Cy Young, 93.1. That's a significant drop-off. And for a pitcher like him, Kenny, that hurts because he makes his money off his changeup. And when there's less separation, you know, the changeup's not as effective.
He's always had very good secondary pitches. The changeup, good breaking ball.
Now, one of the problems, he had elbow surgery over the winter, and because he was rehabbing, he started to throw in December rather than in January when he usually does. And because of that, he has a little bit of a dead arm period. And maybe that's why the fastball is not as fast as it used to be, but that changeup really worked right there.
Yeah, he just threw a nice dead fish to Nick Swisher.
Another one.
Now, he's the type of pitcher who can throw 2, 3 in a row, the changeup, and he sells it with his motion. He gives no indication whatsoever that it's not going to be a fastball, and all of a sudden it's that tremendous changeup, and he gets a lot of strikes, swings and misses. It's almost like his signature pitch.
And the 1-2. Foul back. Last year in the Subway Series right here at the stadium, Santana really got roughed up by the Yankees. Yankees ended up scoring 15 runs that game. Now in his last 2 starts, 1-1 with a 5.27. And you know both of these guys, they always say, pitchers always say, well, I'm not facing the opposing pitcher. But in reality, you really are facing the opposing pitcher, because if you are facing a Santana or a Sabathia, you know you can't afford to give up 3 runs, because in all likelihood, they'll shut you down.
Yeah, Santana was quoted in the newspaper saying, I know I can't make many mistakes today facing off against CC Sabathia.
This is the second marquee matchup. You could even say yesterday was a marquee matchup used against Pelfrey, 9-1, 9-1. But Sabathia faced Halladay on Tuesday and outdueled Halladay. And now Sabathia gets Santana. And it's amazing how it works. When you start the season as the #1 starter, you usually draw the #1 starter. And there's a comparison career-wise with these two. The only thing Sabathia has that Santana doesn't is a championship. There's a fly ball to center field. And Pagan puts away. Let's take a look at the entire Mets defense, brought to you by Mercedes. Pagan's in center, flanked on either side. Bays in left flank, Coors in right. Infield, Wright, Reyes, Tejada, and Davis third to first. Barajas behind the plate, and Santana is on the mound. Here's Mark Teixeira. Big home run in yesterday's game, tied the game at 3. A 2-run shot, batting from the left side.
You know, recently they had the Foreman Cotto fight here at the Yankee Stadium, and that was you know, they had an undercard. But you were mentioning yesterday, Pelfrey and Hughes, they definitely would have been on the undercard when it came to Santana and Sabathia if this was a matchup of fighters. Because these guys have been around longer.
Yep. Teixeira, 4 hits in his last 23 at-bats. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. The 0-2. There's a fastball, 89 miles an hour, and here's that home run we talked about.
Yeah, it was the 3rd inning. Mike Pelfrey got something in the middle of the plate, and Mark Teixeira sent it off the railing there and then into the Yankee bullpen for a 2-run homer that tied the game at 3.
Swing and a miss. There's that change. So a great change up in the first inning for Santana. As the Yankees go down in order, 1, 2, 3. Let's take it to the second. No score. Yankees and the Mets. Which of these father-son duos was your favorite? You can text your vote to 58772 and standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Felipe and Moises Alou, Gus and Buddy Bell, Bobby and Barry Bonds, and Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. We'll find out the answer or how you vote a little bit later on.
I was thinking along the lines of Ward and Beaver.
Father's Day bases, June 20th, 2010. And all the players and the umps wearing the blue sweatbands, and the Yankees actually have the Father's Day ribbon logo over the NY on their uniform. There it is. Jason Bay's had a nice season, but I think the one thing that has to concern the Mets is the low home run total, just 4 home runs at this point. And also, he's driven in just 27 runs. A very streaky hitter.
Could it be the difference between Citi Field and Fenway Park? I mean, Fenway Park is certainly noted for being an offensive type ballpark. At Citi Field, well, it's still a new type ballpark. I mean, it's only the 2nd year of existence, but doesn't seem they're getting the same effect out of Bay this year. as they did in Boston.
You know, one thing, Kenny, they really felt that Citi Field would not neutralize him because his power is down the line. And Citi Field plays very fair down the line. It's a little unfair to hitters in the gaps and in center, but he hasn't been able to connect. He had 2 of the 4 home runs against the Yankees at Citi Field in one game. And the 2-2.
See, but pitchers can pitch you away and make you hit the ball to the big part of the ballpark unless you're going to go out there and try and hook it. And if you do that, when you start to cheat too much, all of a sudden the pitch gets in on your hands, you get jammed. And certainly see very few jam shots going out of the ballpark.
High fly ball, right field. On the track is Swisher, and he makes the play for the first out. Well, IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
You think of the big-time matchups in years gone by and some of the brand-name pitchers, any one of their names would usually bring a good crowd to the ballpark when you have them working against each other. And today, an example with this, Sabathia and Santana. I mean, these two have made commercials together.
And happen to be about a Subway.
Yeah, we were compiling a list before the game of big-time matchups of the past. And you think back, you go back to the 60s, Koufax, Sandy Koufax, and Juan Marichal, Dodgers and Giants. And, you know, maybe move on to the 70s. You had Catfish Hunter, the Yankees, and previously of the A's against, say, Jim Palmer. Yes. 2 Hall of Famers. Those people were those type of pitchers that bring out the crowds.
1-1. I guess today you could say Steven Strasburg against anybody is going to bring out a crowd.
This is a good high hard one, and Barajas could not catch up to it. Sometimes Barajas is a good high ball hitter, but if you put it just above where he can't get to it, maybe he'll go for it, as he did on that one, and couldn't get on top of it. Too much heat.
Swing and a miss. Nice off-speed pitch.
We were talking about Santana's ability to pick up strikeouts on off-speed pitches. The same applies to CC Sabathia. Both CC strikeouts have been on off-speed pitches. A curveball to Davis, and it looked like a changeup to Barajas. Way out in front for the strikeout. The hitters have to respect their fastballs. They throw very hard. This is in yes mode. It's going to slow it down even more.
Well, you can see the rotation on yes mode.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Unless you're Barajas.
Pitch to Tatis is outside 1-0. Tatis making his first start in this series. The first 2 games, Chris Carter, a lefty swinger, was the DH against the Yankee right-handers. Tatis has not driven in a run since May 13th. And that one's foul back. And he's really become essentially a pinch hitter with the everyday status of Ike Davis at first.
And these are the type of the games where bench players in the National League coming over and playing in American League parks, either you're a DH or you don't get to do anything. Because in the National League, you get opportunities off the bench, pinch hitting. A lot more often. Pitching changes, managers make double switches. You get into ball games that way.
Grounded foul. Tatis is from the cradle of shortstop, San Pedro de Macorís. But he's not a shortstop.
He's a little crowded. He plays somewhere else.
And the pitch. Strike 3. Whispering across the inside corner, third strikeout for Sabathia. Mets go down in order, 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Man, greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. In 1921, Babe Ruth hit career home run number 139, and that was good for #1 on the all-time list, breaking the famous Roger Connors' previous record of 138. You got some utility men with 138 now.
Did you say famous Roger?
Yes.
I've never heard of him.
Now he's famous. Here is Alex Rodriguez. No score, bottom of the second inning. Check swing, slow roller up the first baseline. It stays fair. And A-Rod is out. That ball wanted to go foul, but something was keeping it fair.
Yeah, about halfway down the line, it looked like it turned into foul territory, then came back. Let's see. No, maybe not. It just... That was going to stay to the left of the line, all the way down to Ike Davis with maybe one of the easiest plays he'll ever make. Just picks it up, steps on the bag, and there's one out. And when you do that as a hitter, you check your swing, it goes back to the pitcher. This is even worse because the pitcher didn't have to throw it to first. And you can see the spin on the ball, keeping it fair, so Davis can make the play.
There's a strike to Cano. You know what I love about this series, Kenny? Past Subway series. They always seem contrived to me. Oh, Yankees and the Mets. Oh, rivalry, bragging rights. I never bought that.
Was it always said in that voice?
Yeah, that voice. That's the way I heard it. But this is a baseball series. This is two good teams going against each other, both wanting to win. Yankees trying to stay in first, the Mets trying to catch the Braves, and I think that's brought out a different level to this series. This is about baseball. Nothing contrived, nothing about bragging rights. Two good teams going at it. That's great.
And this is a game on the schedule they have to play. It happens to be Santana against Sabathia. It makes it even bigger. Mets a game and a half out of first in the National League East, and the Yankees tied for first in the American League East. You're right. Two very good baseball teams.
The 1-1. So you didn't like that voice that I heard?
Well, that's kind of a whiny voice, but that's the way you've heard it.
That's the way I hear it.
That's the way you heard it.
Yankees are tied with the Rays for the best record in the major leagues, and the Mets 39-29. The Atlanta Braves don't lose anymore, and the Mets a game and a half behind Atlanta.
Looks like the Braves are trying to send Bobby Cox out in style.
He's not going to want to leave.
No, he's not. One thing I've noticed watching the games at home, the first two games of the series, the Mets have, every once in a while, they send a little brushback message to Cano. Santana did it earlier in the count. A little pitch, don't make him jump that much, but just to let him know they're aware that he's up there.
And they shift Kenny against him like I've seen no other team shift. David Wright is essentially playing shortstop. And you've seen Cano send ground balls down the third base line all the time.
Especially gets one where he has that little slashing type swing, and there's manager Jerry Manuel. And that's the defense that he set up. They feel that Cano's going to pull the ball.
Oh, that hit him. They're trying to pitch him inside. They don't want to go outside. You can see the way they're playing their defense, but that one got away from Santana. So the Yankees have their first base runner.
Was this a changeup that actually hit him? That looked like it got him just...
Well, he got him on the back wrist.
Let's see, the arm and then the ribs.
I think it got him wrist and then ricocheted onto the ribs.
Those good hitters, you don't want to tick them off. They have long memories.
Here's Posada. And the count 1-0.
Yeah, this is Santana's first time pitching out of the stretch today. Let's see how it affects him. Sometimes after you get a series of hitters out from the windup, all of a sudden you got to go to the stretch. Not quite the same.
The 1-0. Inside 2-0.
And that's why in between innings, when you're taking your warm-up tosses, you should throw a few from the stretch. I know a lot of pitchers don't like to anticipate trouble.
So now the count 3-0. Do they green light Posada? Now, the Yankees have switch hitters in the line, like Swisher, Teixeira, Posada, and you look at the numbers, and Santana has a higher batting average against lefties because it kind of takes away the changeup. Did you ever think about facing a guy who throws a changeup and go the opposite way?
No, because when they had a mid-90s fastball, I didn't want to be on the wrong side of the plate.
Even though it would take away their money pitch?
Because for me, it was like eating dinner without a fork. It just wasn't going to work. I had to be on the right side.
I've done that so much, so I can't even fathom that.
Just you switch hitter, you're facing somebody like Santana. Take your medicine with the changeup. Maybe he'll make a mistake with one, and you can pound it.
Hot shot up the middle of base hit. Yankees first base hit of the afternoon.
And one thing, though, when you get an opportunity against the better pitchers, and you can think back all the years and all the good pitchers, when you get them in a situation where you can score, you better take advantage of the opportunities, because sometimes they don't present that many opportunities to score. So the Yankees have 2 men on and nobody out here in the second inning, and a chance to jump out in front against Johan Santana and the Mets.
Here's Granderson. The 1-0. 2-0. Granderson is hitless in 12 at-bats with 6 strikeouts against Santana. But Santana's kind of lost the plate this inning, Kenny.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, his first time from the stretch, and all of a sudden he fell behind Posada, had to come in. Posada got a base hit. This is following the hit by pitch by Cano. And right now, with the count 2-0, if Granderson was ever going to get a hit off Santana, he wants to get ahead on a count. 6 strikeouts and 12 at-bats. It's been all Santana so far.
There's a strike. Santana won with the fastball. Granderson has his struggles against lefties anyway, and this is one of the best lefties in baseball.
He's got 3 solid pitches to choose from. He can be very precise with all 3 of them. Fastball, breaking ball, and, of course, the changeup.
Count 3-1. One thing that you've seen with Santana this year is because he doesn't have the strikeout pitch, he doesn't have the put-away pitch like he used to, he builds up high pitch counts. Because either you take or you foul off a pitch that in the past you would have struck out against, and all of a sudden he's got 100 pitches in 6 innings. This is 32nd right here, the 3-1. High fly ball. Right field line, Francoeur makes the play. Tagging is Cano, he just draws the throw.
Yeah, Francoeur has one of the strongest arms of any right fielder in baseball. So you're not going to challenge him very often. And Cano was not even thinking about third base.
Here's Cervelli, one of the Yankees' better hitters with runners in scoring position. Now, in this series, the Yankees are 1 for 18 against the Mets with runners in scoring position. Pitch outside with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. Cervelli, 11 hits and 19 at-bats. That's .579.
Yeah, right now, as he steps in, he's got a 5-game hitting streak.
Fouled away.
There's a matchup of players from Venezuela.
The 1-1. Goes to the fastball, 1-2. It is that sort of day here at Yankee Stadium.
And most seats have 2 fans in them. One for cooling and one that's getting overheated.
The 1-2. You wonder why the Mets, who have a litany of uniforms, would decide to go with the black jerseys today on a hot day.
Is that a Sunday thing?
I don't know. They've worn it every day of this series.
Oh, okay.
The 1-2. Grounded foul.
These are where Cervelli usually puts on his most grinding at-bats. For him to have 29 runs batted in with no home runs at this point of the season shows you how effective he has been with runners in scoring position.
One, two. Now, usually when Cervelli drives and runs, it's a good thing for the Yankees. The last 6 games he has a ribby, the Yankees have won those games. Now, we mentioned about the ability to strike people out. In 04, Santana struck out 10.5 every 9 innings. This year, 5.8 every 9 innings, and it has dropped every single year since 04. I take that back. It did go up in 07. So, but since then, 7.9, 7.9. Last 2 years now 5.8. 1-2.
I think it just shows you, Michael, he doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He just can't blow it by hitters, and it's more trickery with the changeup and the breaking ball and spotting the fastball, as opposed to saying, well, you can't hit my fastball. Here it is, 94 miles an hour. You can't look for a changeup because you're not going to get to my fastball. There's not that big separation that there used to be. So many more pitchers have fouled off, and many more pitchers are put in play than there used to be against Santana.
And you would think that coming from the Twins to the Mets in the National League, where you get 2 strikeouts a game against the pitcher usually, that it wouldn't drop, but it has dropped. So there is a little bit of a deterioration of skills, but he's so smart out there.
He's a good pitcher.
But knows how to pitch that he still can win games. The 2-2. That one is looped into left field, coming on Bay, and he makes the play. So Santana wins that battle. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 3rd. There's no score on yes. Sabathia against Santana. Jeff Francoeur will start it off, and during the top of the third, we're going to visit with our very own Kimberly Jones, who's in the third base camera well right next to the Met dugout. Kimberly, is it hot down there?
It's oppressive because of the humidity, Michael, and I think we haven't had many hot days yet. It's really hot. Everyone around me sweating a ton.
And there's not a spot of perspiration either on your shirt or on your forehead. Big league, Kim, really big league.
You just can't see it.
Okay, good. That's important. Never let them see you sweat. Is that going to affect the way CeCe and Cervelli go about this game?
Well, CeCe so far, 29 pitches to coming into this inning, and Cervelli told me he loves the heat, and we know CeCe likes it hot, but this is a little much. He said if the big guy needs a breather, he will go right to the mound and give him one. So far, so good on that. Cervelli also told me we want quick outs today. We'll take ground outs, fly outs. We don't necessarily need strikeouts, but CeCe has 3 of them already. But so far, so good, but it was on their mind before the game.
All right, so Major League Baseball, obviously dads are so important to the kids' maturation into baseball players, and Father's Day is an important day for a lot of these guys on the field.
Absolutely, it is.
As Francoeur will fly out to Granderson.
And when you take a sampling from the clubhouse, Michael, what you hear is what a lot of dads around the country and around this area are experiencing today. In A.J. Burnett's case, I said, how's Father's Day going? He said, great. My kids called me at 7:30 this morning and woke me up. In Andy's case, he took his family to the airport, but not before he got chocolate-covered strawberries for Father's Day. That's a great job by the Pettit family. Jabba Chamberlain called Harlan. His father also received a picture message from his son, Carter. Derek Jeter called Dr. Charles before he even got to the ballpark this morning. And then there's Mariano, Michael, who he and Clara have 3 sons, the oldest of whom, Mariano Jr., is away at camp, but he sent his father a letter for Father's Day. How nice is that? The middle son and the little guy jumped on Mo to wake him up this morning. The middle one gave Mariano pajamas and T-shirts. As for the little one, he made a craft at school. It was a school project. It's a big rock and a little rock. He gave it to Dad, and the message was, "You rock, Dad." So Mariano just laughed, shook his head, and he said, "I guess I rock." I think he probably does.
You know what's amazing, Kim, in this day and age, for Mariano's oldest son to actually sit down and send snail mail. I mean, usually emails or tweets or text. It's amazing. So that is a nice Father's Day gift.
Very nice. It was definitely longer than a text message, I promise you that.
That's only 140 characters. Anyway, Kim, we'll let you get some air conditioning on you, and we'll see you later on the postgame.
Thank you, Michael.
Now, it is Father's Day today, and unfortunately, Kenny and I, our dads aren't here anymore, but I'll tell you what, your dads are with you all the time. Everything that they instill in you, everything they do for you, that stays with you your whole life, and I think that Kenny will echo my sentiments on this Father's Day. You know, maybe during the year you don't get a chance to do it. Go to your dad and tell him you love him. Tell him you thank him for everything that he's done for you and the person that he's making you out to be. And, you know, you're going to wish that if you didn't, you wish you had a long time from now. So do it today.
That's very true. And, you know, one thing I find myself doing, saying some of the same things my dad used to say to me that I say to my kids. Like, clean up your room.
And they probably don't listen, just like you did.
Yeah.
And as a dad, Kenny, I know you're very proud. Yesterday was an important day in the Singleton family. 2 of your youngest kids both graduated, one from high school and one from junior high.
Yeah, exactly. So we had a big party yesterday afternoon. I actually had to leave before it was over, hop on the train and come up here to the game this afternoon. But, yeah, that's very important. Education was always important with my dad and my brother and I, too.
Well, congratulations to the dude and Angelica for their graduation yesterday.
Thank you.
And the dude's going to college.
Yeah, he's moving on.
That means you have to keep working.
Yeah. It might mean that he's going to have to start working.
2 away, and here's Jose Reyes. So happy Father's Day, everybody out there. Reyes popped out to second. That was in the first inning. The first pitch is upstairs, 1-0.
Mentioned that Reyes is an electric player, both at the plate, in the field, on the bases. And I know we got this big-time pitching matchup today, but we also got a big-time shortstop matchup, too. So the best of the business play right in this city.
Popped up. Cervelli tosses away the mask, called off by Teixeira, and that will do it. So another 1-2-3 innings, 7 in a row retired by CeCe Sabathia. What does it mean to be a dad? It means your daughter's going to help you out. Little fan, making her a big fan of his. Happy Father's Day. Berg of Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio. His son Steven next to him. He's a big Yankee fan and was eating in the Audi Club before. And now he's sitting in a luxury suite. Nice way to spend Father's Day, he and his family. They didn't come here on the Acela, but if they did, they'd have a nice ride. Let's look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. The Yankees hit the road right after the game. Arizona, 3 games. It's going to be nice and cool there. It's a dry heat, though. 3 games against the Diamondbacks. Thursday's an off day, and then 3 games against Joe Torre and the Dodgers in L.A.
Don't kid yourself, Michael. Every day in Arizona is going to be over 100 degrees.
We found out on Wednesday it's going to be 110. 110. Here's Brett Gardner. And pitches up, inning, 1-0.
So the roof should be closed at Chase Field, and the air conditioning, I hope, is working.
If the roof is not closed at Chase Field, Kenny and I will storm that room and close it ourselves. Here's the pitching matchup for those games. A.J. Burnett against Rodrigo Lopez, Andy Pettit against Dan Aaron, and Javier Vasquez against Dontrell Willis. Oh, it's going to be a little cooler. The projected high is 109. That one is looped in the left field, a base hit for Gardner.
Gardner's having a heck of a month of June. He doesn't want it to end. He coming into the day, he was hitting 368 this month. That's going to go up a notch or 2 with this inside-out swing. Right over the head of David Wright. He thought about going up, knew there was no opportunity to come down with a baseball, and the speed of Gardner's on at first base. 19 for his last 45. And if you're wondering why Derek Jeter has more runs batted in than any leadoff hitter, the guy at first is a big reason for it. When he was batting down in the lineup at the beginning of the year, of course, he could move himself into scoring position. He could score on a double. And that's how leadoff hitters with the ability to drive in runs. And Derek's hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position. Although his average has gone down lately. He's at 279 now. He had gotten up to 300 for a while, didn't he, Mike?
Absolutely. I think he was at 320.
Yeah.
A little bit of a slide, as we mentioned, 4 for 30 after his ground out in the second.
Santana is very difficult to get a jump against if you're a base runner at first base because he delivers the ball so quickly to home plate. And one reason he doesn't have to take much of a stride to throw that great changeup.
13 for 31 Jeter against Santana. That's 419. With 2 strikes, David Wright very deep at third, close to the line for Jeter. The 1-2. Laced foul. Over the head of Davis, it was fair, but it kept slicing foul.
Yeah, by the time it got to Bill Miller, the umpire, it was in foul territory. Line drive, there's a reaction to Davis over Miller's head, and the ball boy's going to make a nice play. Just maybe about a foot or so over the glove of Davis.
Boy, Yesmo takes a long time to hit the grass. The longer the at-bat goes, the better a read Gardner gets on Santana and his move. You can see what Santana's doing. That came very close to a balk. Mick Kelleher said that was a balk.
Yeah, he's talking to Bill Miller right now.
Let's see, was it?
Brings the leg up. He cannot bring that front foot behind the rubber. And that didn't look like he did.
But he seems to want to hold on to the ball longer. He's trying to disrupt the rhythm more than anything.
You got to figure that Gardner's going to be guessing here and just taking off.
Jeter this season a .320 hitter against lefties, .259 against righties. 81 hits in all.
Yeah, the number against lefties is not surprising. He was the #1 hitter in the league against lefties last year. Looked like Gardner had a false start. He was thinking about going, but couldn't quite get the jump. And that's a good experience, a base runner, that you get yourself a good jump before you go. You know, if you have the slightest hesitation, just hold on at first. Safety first.
Two. Dribbled slowly left side. Fielded there by Wright. And the ball came out of his hand weird. It's like he threw a changeup, and Jeter picks up a base hit. He just didn't get a good grip on that.
Another thing that you mentioned, Michael, he was playing deep and towards the line, so he had to come a long way, get rid of it quickly. And you're right. It looked like he had all his fingers on the ball, a changeup grip. Davis has to leave the bag to make sure he can catch the ball. And after a single by Gardner, an infield single for Derek Jeter as he beats that one out. And you called it. He was playing on the line and deep. So he had a long way to go to come up with it. I don't think he had the proper grip as he made the throw. He knew he had to hurry.
No chance to get him at second right there.
Not at all. And no chance at first as well.
All right, let's manage, Kenny. Dan Warthen comes out to talk with Santana. You got Swisher up, who's been a great hitter, especially with runners in scoring position. Runners on base, he's 5th in the big leagues at .370. Do you have him bunt here? Because obviously Sabathia looks like he's sharp today. It's going to be tough to score off Santana. What do you do?
Yeah, I think you're going to be swinging away. And Nick Swisher's got 42 runs batted in. That's a pretty good ratio of RBIs. I think he swings.
Well, the Mets are expecting him to swing.
I'll tell you one thing. You might be looking at a double steal opportunity here as well.
And he bunts, and it's a push bunt, and it is a beauty. And everybody is safe. Whoa, what a bunt by Swisher. Not a great hitter against Santana. Into that at bat. 167 lifetime.
Did you think that Swisher was this good a bunter?
That was some bunt.
Yeah, this is some bunt because of all kinds of confusion for the Mets once this ball is laid down. Santana had no chance to get it off the bat. There's the flip. Everybody's running. This looks like the 62 Mets over there at first base. This is going to be a base hit for Nick Swisher. Santana and Tejada are going to run into each other, both attempting to catch the ball to get the out at first base. Here's Yesmo, the flip by Davis, the backhanded flip. And, gee, I remember the 62 Mets. Stuff like this happened every game.
Wow, Swisher almost turned his ankle. There was no place for him to land on the base. So here's Teixeira. Yesterday, a big home run. And the pitch is outside 1-0.
You know, Nick might have bunted on his own.
Could be.
Yes.
There's that changeup, 1-1.
The Yankees had an opportunity last inning. Remember I said against the very good pitchers, opportunities rarely present themselves, particularly the bases loaded, nobody out. That doesn't show up very often against somebody like Johan Santana.
Santana has allowed 2 grand slams this year, 4 in his career. He does yield the home run. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back Bay. Still back. Track. Wall. See ya! A grand slam for Mark Teixeira. And the Yankees lead 4-0. Let's watch this pitch by pitch here, brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi.
Yesterday, Teixeira with a 2-run homer to tie the game. This one's going to give the Yankees lead. Changeup, blown away, ball 1. Another one, swing and a miss. There's one right in the middle of the plate. He touches it off. Now, I don't know. I thought this ball might have hit the top of the wall and then gone over. We'll take a good look at it here. No matter, it's in the seats, and the Yankees have a 4-0 lead.
Alex Rodriguez rockets one to third. What a play by Wright. Throw to first, they get him. Took an extra base hit away from Alex Rodriguez.
David Wright showing off the leather. One hopper. He's got time. That ball was hit very hard, and he throws out A-Rod easily. But nice play by the A-Rod's opposite number, David Wright at third base. Taking away an extra base hit. And Wright with a strong throw for the first out of the inning.
So Teixeira with a big home run yesterday that tied the game. Has a home run today to give the Yankees a 4-0 lead. So let's take a look at the Coors Light cold hard blast.
Yeah, right on time. Barrel meets ball. Follow through. Get that feeling when you hit one like that it's got a chance.
Dribbled slowly towards second, charging Tejada. And he flips to first for the second out. Well, it's the first time this year Teixeira's homered in back-to-back games. His 5th career grand slam. Bay goes back to the auxiliary scoreboard, and it makes the first row of seats, and then bounces back a little bit farther. Doesn't matter where it lands. It matters that it landed as a home run. So here is Posada now, as Teixeira has to feel better about his swing. His 12th home run of the year. Crowd still buzzing from that blast. Now can CC make it hold up?
We talked about this in terms of a boxing match, and you got 2 heavyweight fighters on the mound, heavyweight champion type of pitchers in Santana and CC Sabathia, and the Yankees have landed the first big blow of this fight.
Last year, Johan Santana did not have a good outing. 3 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs against the Yankees. The Yankees ended up scoring 15 that day.
He might be longing for the old Yankee Stadium. He was 3-0 in the old ballpark.
Strike 3, Posada down looking. But the Yankees, 4 straight hits to open up the inning. Gardner, Jeter, and Swisher on the bases when Mark Teixeira connects for his 5th career grand slam. That one swing made the Yankees 4, Nets 0. future Hall of Famer, was taken 4th by Boston. You know this one, Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't answer.
I know the rules around here.
There's a strike. As Sabathia goes 0-1 on Angel Pagan. So now Sabathia has a lead to protect. Ground ball in the hole. Backhanded by Jeter. The jump past the first. Pulls Teixeira off the bag. So an infield single on Pagan. Now, the last strike to Posada, which was called by Eric Cooper, was something that Posada did not agree with. It was pretty close. It was obviously outside, but it was close. And then Posada has some words with Eric Cooper. Rob Thompson knows they need Posada, pushing him away. Then Joe Girardi takes over, but Posada still yapping, and he's going to get himself thrown out. And Joe Girardi says, okay, enough. I need you in the lineup. So manager has many jobs.
Oh, my goodness.
Muzzling is another one.
If you're Posada, from this point on, anything close.
Now Posada might feel a little bit more free to argue as a DH because he doesn't have to worry about the umpire saying, well, you didn't think that was a strike for you, but you want it for your pitcher. Posada's not catching today. It's Cervelli.
Yeah, but you want to stay in the game.
Yes. There's a strike.
Now, you're talking about, and we've always mentioned this in the past, when your team scores, has a decent inning on the scoreboard, how important it is for your pitcher to come out and throw a quick 0 up on the board to get the other pitcher who has struggled back on the mound as quickly as possible. Well, it's not going to be as quickly as possible because Pagan is let off with a hit.
Hot shot to short. This could be 2. There's 1. On to first. A double play.
It's a tailor-made double play. Or Jeter, Cano, Teixeira made double play. Ball hit hard by David Ray. Jeter on the backhand gives a perfect feed to Cano. And Robbie Cano has options. He can come across the bag. He can stay back. This time he stays back and steps over the runner. CC slips a little, but he's going to feel a lot better after seeing the outcome of this play.
Pitch to Ike Davis is fouled away. Nice catch. I think a fan caught it with the hat. Nice catch by a fan right in the first row. The 0-1. Breaking ball strike. Beautiful pitch by Sabathia.
Yeah, Davis was CC's first strikeout going back to the first inning. He got him on a breaking ball. See if he leads one well off the outside corner. See if he can get Davis to strike himself out. Now they're going with the waist fastball.
Popped up right back here. Obviously out of play. We're in the 4th. This is the rubber game of the 3-game set. Yesterday, the Yankees' victory snapped the Mets' 8-game winning streak and the Yankees' 3-game losing streak. And the 0-2. 1-2.
The Yankees need this win not only to win the series, but even up the Subway Series for the season. The Mets took 2 out of 3 at Citi Field earlier this year.
Swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball. So it comes back with a 10-pitch inning. Does not allow a run. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Yankees lead 4-0. online quiz answer. In January of '67, the Major League Baseball draft, Ken Singleton was picked 3rd overall by the Mets. Which future Hall of Famer was taken 4th by Boston? Kenny?
Carlton Fisk.
Carlton Fisk is correct. And I got a lot of friends who are real stat heads who insist that Ken Singleton should be in the Hall of Fame as well.
And what do I tell you every time?
No.
No.
And they get angry whenever you say that. I get emails from them. Tell him he's wrong. Here's Curtis Granderson. There's a strike. Granderson, Cervelli, and Gardner. 63 pitches as we enter the 4th inning here with Santana on the mound. 1-1. Now Santana went through a stretch. Now his last 2 starts, 1-1, 5.27, so he hasn't pitched that well, but he did pick up a win. In his previous 5 starts before that, there's a line drive, and it's going to be stopped on 1 hop by Frank Core, so Granderson picks up a hit. His previous 5 starts, Kenny, he was 1-0 with a 0.74 ERA, but the Mets were 1-4 in those 5 starts. They just couldn't score for him.
Yeah, and sometimes you have your best pitcher on the mound, you figure he's capable of winning a 1-0 game. Good job by Frank Core to keep this ball in front of him. If it skips by him, Granderson is off to the races. So Frank Core keeps it in front. Granderson is held to a leadoff single. 2nd inning in a row, the Yankees have had the leadoff man on.
Mets scored 3.5 runs a game when Santana starts, almost 5 runs a game in all other games. Grounded to 3rd, right, will go to 2nd one. On to 1st, nicely turned double play, 5-4-3.
And once again, Wright was over by the line. And I think this is by design because Santana had such a good changeup that you figured a lot of right-handed hitters going to be out in front and pull the ball and maybe not hit it hard, but off the end of the bat. And there's the double play with Granderson getting into Tejada at second base. So Santana's changeup, and that's the way the Mets played defensively against right-handed hitters. They put Wright over near the line, thinking that the ground ball is going to be pulled in that direction. It paid off in that instance.
And there's a strike. It was Gardner's little looping single to left field that started the Yankees' 4-run rally last inning. This will be the 70th pitch of the game for Santana. Yankees win this game. It's a significant victory in the franchise's history. Why? It would be their 9,500th victory as a franchise. The 2-2. Grounded, right to right. And that'll do it. In the 4th, no runs a hit because of the double play, nobody left. We move to the 5th. 4-0 Yankees over the Mets. good pitching matchup as well. Thank you, Bob. We'll talk to you a little bit later on. Top of the fifth, Yankees lead 5-0. 4-0. Jason Bay fouls it away, and the count 0-1. It's that sort of day. It really is hot here at the ballpark.
Tell you what, it didn't keep people away, though.
Nope.
Nothing like a full baseball stadium. Just there's a certain electricity and energy to a ballpark when just about every seat is taken.
49,000 plus on each of the first 2 games of the series. A lot of people have come to this ballpark all week. 3 games against the Phillies and now 3 games against the Mets. And also 3 huge crowds against the Astros. So homestand-wise, they've turned out.
Isn't that beautiful?
Place looks great. Talking to some of the Met people, Kenny, throughout the weekend, and they were so complimentary of the ballpark. The facilities that you work in here, the broadcast facilities are top flight. Just how easy it is for the media and just the way the ballpark looks. It's a great place in its second year. The 2-2.
Yeah, players get energized playing in front of big crowds. Well, it used to happen to me. Coming to play the Yankees at the old ballpark, good crowd on hand. Home team gets energized, so does the opposing team. Nobody wants to stink in front of 50,000 people.
And Bay works a walk. Big programming day on Yes after the postgame. Catch an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show, as Joe's going to recap this big week against the Phillies and the Mets. And after that, it's another fun-filled episode of Yankees on Deck, presented by Topps Attacks. It's all coming up after the postgame only on Yes. Here is Rod Barajas. Struck out in the second inning. And there's a strike.
CC started him off with a changeup. Now, CC's changeup is in the high 80s. His fastball, 94, 95, maybe a little higher than that at times. But it's almost like a batting practice fastball. He gets the hitters out in front.
High fly ball. Left field, deep, going back. Gardner leaps, and he makes the play. Hustling back to first will be Jason Bay. He actually made the leap before the wall and came down with the baseball. Ball traveling to left field today.
Well, you get the warmer weather. The ball carries a lot further than usual, and you get that cold, damp weather early in the season. There's the at the apex of his leap. Looked like he had one more step to go before he got to the fence, but he comes away with it. That's the important thing. And makes the catch. Wow. Man, is that beautiful. Even better on Yes Mo. See that lady in the front row? She wanted nothing to do with that baseball. And she didn't get it, so she's very happy.
Here's Fernando Tatis. He struck out looking in the second. Hitless in his last 7 at-bats. And that one's fouled back to the screen.
We saw Teixeira hit a grand slam in the 3rd inning. How about Tatis earlier in his career with the Cardinals, hitting 2 in 1 inning? 2 grand slams.
And both against the present Yankee pitcher, Chan-Ho Park. That's, I think, even tougher to believe than 2 grand slams in 1 inning, that it's against the same pitcher, that the pitcher would last that whole inning.
And that the manager would let you face him again, even though you're taking him deep with the bases loaded earlier in the inning.
There's Chan-Ho. Yankees lead 4-0. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. And taking second on the stolen bases, Jason Bay. So Tatis goes down on strikes. Time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question, which of these father-son duos was your favorite? You've been voting at 58-772, and here is how you voted. I knew it. Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. And also, they got to play together in a game and hit a home run in the same game. Pretty amazing. I was talking to Ken Griffey Sr. the other day, and he talked about how that was such a big thrill, and also talked about his son retiring this year. And he said he wasn't getting much playing time. He didn't want to set the team back. And I said, you ever play the what-if game? All the games he missed? He said, it's part of the game. I went through it. He said he finished with 630 home runs, not too bad.
5th all time. Yep. Not only home runs, it's back-to-back home runs with your son.
Not too bad.
Not at all. That's great. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
I mean, so many things have to happen.
Yeah.
You have to have a kid really young. You've got to have longevity in your career. The kid's got to be great enough that he gets called up at 18 or 19. A lot of moving parts there. A lot of planets have to be aligned. Pitch high. CC still throwing hard. 5th inning, 95 miles an hour. Pitch count is excellent right now. 2 outs into the 5th. Two-one. Popped up. Cano shades his eyes from the sun, gets an angle, and makes the play for the final out of the 5th. So they survived the leadoff walk as the Mets strand one. We're halfway through. Yankees up 4-0 right here on Yes. Theaters Friday by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by Samsung's 3D LED TV. See live sports in cutting-edge clarity. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Derek Jeter is going to lead off. The Yankees are leading this 4-0 on one swing. A grand slam off the bat of Mark Teixeira in the 3rd inning. Sabathia pitching a 2-hit shutout through 5. Swing and a miss.
I think Derek's trying to get better grip on the bat. He had kind of an unusual swing at that first fastball, almost lost the bat. Even though you wear batting gloves, sometimes the sweat will make them a little soggy and you lose part of your grip.
Big hit by Derek in the third, the slow roller left side. David Wright couldn't get Derek Jeter. Derek's last 2 hits have been of the infield variety. So he's 5 for his last 31. His average of 282. And that's a Jeterian sort of hit. Drives it into the gap in right center, goes all the way to the wall. And Jeter picks up a leadoff double.
That ball was hit pretty hard, but it seemed to scoot when it hit the outfield grass. And Francoeur, I thought he had an angle on it to hold Derek to a single, but this one scoots right on by him all the way out to the auxiliary scoreboard. Hangs back just enough, gets to Goodwood. Ball takes that 1-2 hops and on by Francoeur. And Jeter, remember, he's got the sore heel. And there is a little bit of a hitch in the get along there, but he still got himself a 2-base hit.
And that's Derek's 27th multi-hit game of the year. Here's Nick Swisher out a beautiful bunt in the third inning. You know, if you think about it, Kenny, that third inning, the only well-struck ball was Teixeira's, and also Alex Rodriguez's ground out the third. Gardner's was a bloop single left. Jeter was the infield grounded to third. And Swisher was a push bunt to the right side. And that loaded the bases, and Teixeira hit the home run. The 0-1. 1-1.
This might be another opportunity for Swisher to lay down a bunt. This time he's giving no signs of bunting.
Count 2-1. Yankees won the first 3 games of the homestand against the Astros. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Phillies, and they split here with the Mets. So if they win today, 6-3 on a 9-game homestand, which is very good.
Well, they head out on the road to Arizona and then to the West Coast. I think on the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium.
Strike 3. Swisher knew it. Didn't even argue. Just marched right to the Yankee dugout. Well, tomorrow the Yankees kick off another Western road trip, the first of 3 against the Diamondbacks. Complete coverage starts at 9:30 with the Tri-State Sport pregame. Then Kenny and I bring you the call from Arizona. Yankees Diamondbacks tomorrow at 9:30 only on Yes. Kenny, you know what I'm most excited about with that Dodger series?
Tell me.
I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing Don Mattingly again. And the Dodgers, you know, it's the Dodgers. Yankees-Dodgers have such a great history. But to be in the same building as the greatest baseball announcer of all time, Rick Scully, just hope that some of them can see through the walls towards me. That will be so cool.
Been with the Dodgers over 50 years now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people not only come to the game, they bring a little radio so they can listen to Vinny during the game at Dodger Stadium.
Kenny, I believe this is his 60th.
60th year? Yeah. I remember when I first came up with the Mets, and he introduced himself to me as, you know, as a young player. Part of the broadcasting is to get to know some of the players on the other teams. And I told him that I actually, when I was very young, listened to him on the radio back when the Dodgers were still in New York.
2-0.
So when I came up to hit, the fans started laughing in the middle of my at-bat. And I guess one of the stories that he told was, no, here I am broadcasting Dodger games, and now guys are in the big leagues. They were little kids listening to me back in New York. And then fans got a chuckle out of it. And that, I thought my pants were down or something. My zipper was open or something.
Vin Scully joined the Dodgers in 1950. 1950. Pretty much right out of Fordham. As Mark Teixeira works along.
So that was part of his part of the job of being a broadcaster, getting to know the players. And I told that little story, and he went with it. And that was my introduction to Dodger fans.
Vin did something that he hardly ever does anymore this week. Vin does not do games east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he traveled to Fenway Park to do the Dodger game against the Red Sox this weekend. Here's Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, I was flipping around the channels on the Major League package, and I actually heard him. And of course, you stopped. You listened to him for a little while. I'd been watching the Yankees up to that point. I went back.
I'm trying to carve something out that I don't go, west of Boston.
You're doing a pretty good job of it.
Wait
a minute. LA's going to be your only West Coast game of the year.
Absolutely.
And it's one.
It's one. Well, Arizona is, a West Coast swing.
Wait a minute.
It's a 5-hour flight, Kenny. I don't care that you can't see the Pacific.
Wait a minute. There's no water nowhere near Arizona.
That's true. It evaporates in 110-degree heat.
West Coast swing.
It's just high. I consider Cleveland a West Coast swing now.
You like Chicago?
Love Chicago.
Minneapolis is west of the Mississippi.
You know what? It's
Barely.
a little bit of a blip in my rule, but I happen to love Minneapolis. First and second, one man out. Yankees lead 4-0. Let's see if they green light Rodriguez on 3-0. They do. And he pops it up. Barajas and Davis. Barajas makes the play. You see what Girardi's trying to do there? He wants to get Alex back. And he understands if you can groove a 3-0 pitch, all of a sudden the home run swing might be back. Let's take a look at those 4 pitches brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
First pitch upstairs and in. Ball 1, same pitch. Ball 2, 2-0. Tried it again, falls by, and here's the green light. Right there, A-Rod pops it up. Not only trying to get A-Rod back, but maybe get Santana out.
Here's Cano. Foul back over the screen. Raul Valdez, one of the 2 lefties in the Met pen. Mormon. Wearing outlighters, old number. Does the Met organization actually admit that Al once pitched for them?
He did a pretty good job.
He did a great job.
Yeah. Did a great job wherever he went.
Yep.
And 2 good swings by Cano. One on a fastball and one on a changeup, and he fouled them both off. Previous pitch was a fastball. He had good swing, so that got the Mets away from the fastball. That changeup was right there. And at this time, Robbie did not take advantage of it. And that was one of his best swings of the day.
Just missed outside. 1-2. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. The Yankees up 4-0, bottom of the 5th. Starting to get a little gray here at the stadium. Lights are not on. They might put it on in the top of the 6th. Can't put it on while the Yankees are batting, but it's overcast.
As you say that, the sun starts to come out.
God put the lights on. The 2-2. Put together good at bat. Also building up that pitch count of Santana.
That's one reason why the Met bullpen is going here.
Two. High fly ball. Francoeur makes the play. And that'll do it. No run to hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We played 5 at 4-0 Yankees. He's with 7 hits. The Mets with just 2 against Sabathia. And Sabathia turning in one of his better performances of the year so far. Kenny gave a great stat during the scouting report. And, you know, people just assume because CC has struggled just a bit, well, he's not having a good season. Now, you would agree, Kenny, CC had a great season last year. 19 wins, 4-0 in the postseason. But last year at this time, he was 6-4 with a 3.67. Coming into this game, his ERA is a little higher at 4 even, but he's 7-3. So 1 more win and 1 less loss. That's not too bad.
No, not at all. And this is about the time last year when he's really started to turn it on. And just became the pitcher that the Yankees expected they were getting. And then, as you mentioned, on into the postseason. And you couple him with Andy Pettitte, who has been a known second-half pitcher in his career, and not too shabby in the first half as well. That's pitchers going down the stretch, getting the job done.
I might be 1 game off in this stat, but in the last 2 years, starting from the middle of June on, I think Sabathia is 28-6. So who knows why he said he starts to get his rhythm. It gets hotter out. Who knows? But usually around the middle of June, he starts to take off. And that's his career. First half, very good. Second half, even better.
With the ERA.
Better ERA, yeah. And that's based on the All-Star break, which really isn't based on the exact halfway point. Tejada lined that one down the right field line. It's a base hit. Swisher will play it in the corner, and Tejada with a leadoff double.
Now, I know you're supposed to know your home stadium very well, but Nick Swisher plays that right field corner as well as anybody. You know, visiting players come in and they get locked up in the corner. Ball doesn't come out the way they're expecting. Sometimes it gets by them. But the Swisher's right there waiting on that one. Knows how to play that right field corner.
There's Jose Reyes. He's been shut down so far today. 0 for 2, popped to second and fouled out to first. There's a strike. Tejada's been a pretty good player for the Mets. He fields his position beautifully, and he's a shortstop by trade. And there's some concern what happens when Castillo comes back. Does that dislodge Tejada? And the organization that says yes. There's a ground ball. Nice stop by A-Rod. Gets to his feet, and he gets Reyes, taking away a base hit. That's a solid play to the glove side by Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, Michael, we talked about how A-Rod's lateral range had been taken away because of his latest injury, and not quite far enough for that ball to get away from him on that particular play. A couple of steps and a dive, and playing it on the grass, he didn't have much time to make that play. The ball was fairly well hit by Reyes, and of course Reyes runs well, so he has to scramble to his feet and make the throw to first base. Nice play by Alex Rodriguez.
There's that off-speed pitch. Angel Pagan swings and misses. Let's check out Angel Pagan with the Home Depot hitter scouting report.
Yeah, with Carlos Beltran out of the lineup, Pagan has done a good job for the Mets. You can see what he's done during interleague. 378, 8-game hitting streak currently, and birthday blast. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Fly ball center field. Granderson is there.
Pagan is the only player in Major League history to have his first 2 Major League home runs come on his birthday. That's a nice way to have a birthday present. Only player in history.
And it's rare that you could give yourself a birthday present. I've tried, but it doesn't feel the same. And he gave himself a birthday present forever. Don't even have to wrap it.
You know what I did one Christmas?
What?
I gave myself a new rescue club, and I wrapped it, put it underneath the tree.
Then you acted surprised?
No, I pulled it out, and everybody in the house is looking, who got this for us?
David Wright flies out to the warning track. Nick Swisher hauls it in. So the Mets waste the lead-off double. They strand one. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's all Yankees so far, 4-0. Fios TV, internet, and phone. This is Beyond Cable. This is Fios. A.J. Burnett tries to straighten it out. He's been shaky the last couple of starts. 6-5, 4.33. Rodrigo Lopez 2-6, 4.70. Our coverage will begin at 9:30. Game time right around 10. Jorge Posada takes a strike from Johan Santana. Posada's 1 for 2. Four, 7-0, leading 0-3-0. Santana gets the sign differently than most pitchers. He stands there facing him completely, his legs open just a bit, spread at the feet, and then he'll go into the windup from that way. And he starts on the extreme third base side of the rubber. Getting a good view of that sign the way he takes it, Kenny. The 2-1. Fouled away. There's John Mayer.
Did you see the final game with Celtics and the Lakers?
Yes, I did.
Who's who in Hollywood was at that game?
Lined into center field, coming on Pagan. Still coming, and he makes the play. Beautiful play by Angel Pagan.
Well, he talked about how offensively Pagan is doing the job for the Mets in the second slot in the order, and defensively he's doing it as well. Carlos Beltran, I mean, it seems like forever that he's been out of the lineup and not knowing when he's coming back. On Yes Mo, you can see Pagan with a nice lunging catch as he makes that play.
You know, there's some concern amongst Met people as you see what a good jump he got. What happens when Beltran gets by? For two reasons. Who's sitting, Pagan or Francoeur? And also, Pagan idolizes Beltran. And they think that when Beltran comes back, it might set him back a bit and make him think, okay, this guy's in the forefront, I'm not. That's how good he's been. But he does really look up to Beltran.
Both from Puerto Rico?
Now, they might have had one of their upcoming problems solved. John Maine has had a setback, doesn't feel good. And yesterday, Jerry Manuel, the manager, during the press conference, very openly said, well, I'm not taking Takahashi out of the rotation when Maine comes back. They said, well, when would Maine pitch when he comes back? He said, maybe on off days, which was kind of a nasty thing to say. And now he's not going to have to worry about that because it looks like Maine just had a setback.
So he doesn't remember the Maine?
No, he wants to forget the Maine. Two. One hopper to Reyes. And just gets the hustling Granderson for the second out. Hey, come home to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion Yankees in action. On Tuesday, June 29th, the Yankees take on the Mariners, and it's chip clip night. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees chip clip courtesy of Holy Guacamole. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. That's the next home game after this. Cervelli takes a strike.
Take a look at the Granderson swing. Watch the bat.
Ooh.
Whoa. That was not hit on the barrel.
A little bit of a wobble.
Now, Santana mentioned he's from Venezuela. We had mentioned that in the scouting report. But he comes from a little town, Tovar Merida. And that is near the Colombia border with Colombia. And it's up in the mountains. It was very difficult for scouts to find him. He had this... his reputation preceded him, and finally a scout from the Houston Astros drove all the way up these mountain roads to see Santana, and he didn't disappoint. But just a remote part of the country in Venezuela, and they finally found him. And in that part of the country, I found out that they are really into soccer. So the World Cup is on the first page, like it is, I guess, in a lot of places around the world right now.
lot of the Yankees actually have World Cup jerseys hanging in their locker. Different countries, different guys supporting different countries.
My favorite player is Kaká.
Really?
From Brazil, yeah. He's a midfielder. I just think he has a cool name. Anybody who walks around with a jersey that says Kaká on the back of it, you got to be cool.
Or tough. Now Cervelli steps out. The 2-2. Cervelli is really making Santana work today. Santana has gotten him out twice, but he's put together nice at-bats. In fairness to Santana, he's trailing 4-0. He made one mistake, and that was, it looked like a changeup that he left up high for Teixeira to hit over the wall, and it wasn't over the wall by that much.
I think he threw him 3 changeups in a row, and the third one was not a charm. And we said he doesn't give you many opportunities. You got to get to him when you can.
Foul back. Now the bases were loaded when Teixeira hit the home run, but again, a bloop single by Gardner, an infield grounder by Jeter, a push bunt that wasn't played cleanly by the Mets, and that loaded the bases right there. So nobody really scalded the ball, and then Teixeira hit the grand slam. That's where we stand. And when you have a battle of 2 great pitchers, that one mistake can cost you the game. And right now, it's costing Santana and the Mets. High fly ball, deep to left center. Pagan back, still back, track, wall, and he can't make the play. Cervelli is going for 3, and he's going to make it. 2-out triple for Francisco Cervelli.
Cervelli puts a charge into this one. Pagan was playing him a little cheaply in center field. And maybe more respect is next time up. Pagan gets back, still going back, reaches out, and the ball is up against the wall. And Cervelli easily in the third with a stand-up triple. His 3rd triple of the year. And you can see Pagan trying to come up with a baseball who's right now behind him. There's a swing of the bat, and you can see what Pagan has to deal with the sky, the wall, the ball. And he's going to have to wait and pick it up. And where's Cervelli? Second. Think about triple right here. Pick him up, lay him down. Helmet disappears, but he's standing on third.
Now I saw in Saturday's paper a couple of unnamed Mets complained about how Cervelli pumps his fists behind the plate on strikeouts and said he has to calm down. And, you know, you kind of laugh at it. You know, Jose Reyes is on their team. So you're going to complain about him pumping his fist. And there's a lot to complain about with the way Jose Reyes, when he hits the home run and dancing with the first base coach and things like that. But that's the way the game is right now. You can't get that upset about it. Here's Gardner. I asked Joe Girardi about it today. Because, you know, the Yankees can't complain because of what Java does. And he said, it's a different game. You have to accept it. He goes, I got to take care of my guys, and Jerry Manuel has to take care of his guys. I can't be concerned with what his guys do. They should be concerned with what my guys do. He said, that's just the way the game is. Now, in the old days, Kenny, it wasn't accepted. Now I think it is.
Well, yeah, they didn't even like you to watch home runs. They let the ball play. I think I've mentioned this before. I think Reggie was the first one who started.
And you weren't messing with Reggie.
No, Reggie's hit him a long way, though. And they were worth watching.
Soft ground ball short. Reyes is there. And he gets Gardner for the final. So the triple is wasted. No runs ahead, no errors, and 1 man left. Go to the 7th. It's 4-0 Yankees. Angel Pagan picked up a single, an infield single. David Wright, a single to left in the first inning, also stole second. And then in the sixth inning, a double by Ruben Tejada. That's it. And one walk by Sabathia, who's pitching an outstanding game. A 3-hit shutout as we go to the seventh inning. Verizon Wireless scoreboard, it is 4-0 Yankees. Ike Davis starts it off. That breaking ball has befuddled him today as it hits the outside corner for a strike. Davis has struck out twice against Sabathia. Davis, a rookie, called up in April, and there aren't many CC Sabathias at AAA. If there were, they'd be in the bigs. The 0-1. That's a broken bat looper in the right field. It's a base hit. So the kid hangs in there after 2 strikeouts and leads off the seventh with a single.
Davis went 0 for 3 yesterday. He has not gone more than 2 games without a hit this year. He gives up the bat but picks up a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. There's a blooper in front of Swisher. So I guess part of the reason he's hitting fourth because he's pretty consistent.
Here's Jason Bay. Bay with a fly ball to right, pretty deep. Then a walk and a stolen base in the 5th. Sabathia's pitch count is in good shape. That's his 79th pitch here in the 7th inning. Other than Burnett's performance on Wednesday against the Phillies, Yankee starters have really done a good job. That one's fouled back, and CeCe's trying to complete at least 7 innings for the 4th straight start. There's a strike. 96 miles an hour.
Reaching back for a little extra.
One, 2. 2-2. The 2-2. And he walked him. This is the first inning that Sabathia has had 2 runners on. First and second, nobody out. Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Visit Yankees.com and cast your ballot now for your 2010 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. We're going to take the tarp off the mound in the Yankee bullpen. And David Robertson is going to prepare to throw. First jam here for Sabathia. And that's going to bring up Barajas. Last time up, Barajas hit one deep to left, but it was hauled in by a leaping Brett Gardner. First and second, nobody out. Mets trying to get on the board. Pitch upstairs. Barajas has good numbers against CeCe. 9 for 24 with 3 home runs. Lights are on here at the stadium as the cloud cover is getting a little thicker. There's a strike.
Sometimes the star pitchers, the big-time pitchers will look out the bullpen and see somebody warming up when they're in a jam, and they said, nope, this guy's not coming in the game. I'm going to get out of this myself. Let's see if it works for CC.
Let's see if Sabathia gets a little tougher here at 2-1. And the pitch. 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, 2 on, nobody out. And the pitch. Strike 3, Barajas got looking. And he is not happy with Eric Cooper, the home plate ump. Neither is Manuel.
I have a feeling that this pitch was very close to the glove of Francisco Cervelli. Or maybe not.
Might have crossed over the plate.
It crossed over the plate and got the call. Let's see if it hits the corner. Yeah, it had the corner.
Did.
Yep, knee high on the front knee. And Eric Cooper rings up Rod Barajas.
And here's Tatis. Breaking ball strike.
I mean, who knows? If that pitch had been where it was designed to be thrown, he might have hit it.
Yep. Tatis has struck out twice, one swinging and one slugging. The 0-1. Down 1-1. Davis at second and Bay is at first. Mets trying to break through against Sabathia here in the top of the 7th inning. The pitch. Grounded softly to A-Rod. He gets one. On to first. Double play. And around the horn. 5-4-3 double play. The 11th double play that CC has induced this year. Alex got the ball, fired it to Cano, and Cano with that quick release just nabs Tatis for the final out of the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium, and the Yankees lead this one 4-0, but will stay right here to honor pitching, and you've seen a pretty good pitching matchup as advertised. Johan Santana with that one mistake, a grand slam by Mark Teixeira, and he's out of the game. CC Sabathia, 7 innings, 4 hits, has not allowed a run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So Jerry Manuel, after a high pitch count by Santana, makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T Rethink Possible. And we're going to see an exciting young player right here. It's Henry Mejia, and boy, can he throw. He's 20 years old.
20 years old. Man, he's just a baby. This will be a 30th appearance of the year. 16 strikeouts, maybe too many walks, 15 walks in 26 and 2/3 innings. But 20 years old, there's a lot of room to learn here.
He is going to face Derek Jeter. And there's a strike. Now, you know, Mejia on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, Yankees up 4-0. In spring training, people saw this kid throwing hard, and they started to get a little giddy. Even Darryl Strawberry said he reminds me of Mariano Rivera, the way the ball cuts.
Okay.
But that's a little bit of setting the bar high, especially for a 20-year-old.
It's 500-something saves ago.
And Mejia is a starter by trade, and he's one of the most highly regarded young starters in the minor leagues. But what the Mets did, Kenny, and sometimes it's a hard call. What do we need now? What do we need in the future? Now, starters are hard to come by, but they needed another arm in the bullpen, so they're kind of sacrificing this development year to get him in the bullpen. He looks 20. Looks very young. The 2-1, fouled away. His average fastball this year, 95 miles an hour. That was 96. So you can see why they're excited about this kid.
But one way to learn your craft, and they used to do this more so than they do now, is you came up to the ball club, you worked out of the bullpen. You started to learn hitters, learn to lead working out of the bullpen, and then eventually, when one of the older starters retired or they traded him away, then you moved into the rotation.
There's precedent right here. That's what happened with Phil Hughes.
Yep.
Phil Hughes was outstanding as a setup guy out of the bullpen last year, and now he's 10-1. Lights on here at the stadium. Full house. Yankees leading 4-0 here on Father's Day. And the 3-2 to Jeter. Double foul. Now Santana leaves having allowed 4 earned runs. Significant? Well, here's why. He allowed 4 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. He's allowed 4 or more earned runs in each of 3 consecutive starts, only twice in his career. 3 in a row in August and September of 2007, and 4 in a row, May to June in 2004. Jeter putting together a tough at bat against the kid. He's 2 for 3, Jeter is. That one is grounded off the glove of Mejia, grabbed by Tejada, and you score that 1-4-3 for the first out. Let's look at the Yankees in-game box score, brought to you by McDonald's. And you see the hits there, Derek Jeter with 2, Nick Swisher with 1, Mark Teixeira, the biggest hit of the game, that grand slam. And then each of the bottom 4 in the order have a base hit as well. So that's 8 base hits for the Yankees. In a little dark overhead as Nick Swisher digs, and he had a big bunt hit in the 3rd inning that kept that inning alive. 1 for 3. Foul ball. They play Swisher to pull, shortstop up the middle, right way off the line at 3rd, pitch outside. Well, they just announced the attendance here at the stadium, 49,240. And that's the 3rd straight sellout. Place is jammed to the gills. 1-1. High fly ball, center field. Pagan makes the play.
You were talking about how Pagan, his favorite player is Carlos Beltran. He moves like Beltran in center field. Very stylish, very smooth, kind of glides across the outfield and then makes the plays.
Well, here's the difference maker in this game. Mark Teixeira from the other side, batting right-handed. Drove a changeup over the wall and left with the bases loaded. A little grand slam, his 5th of his career. First time the series hit home runs on successive days. And gave the Yankees a 4-0 lead, which they are enjoying right now. Mets shift with Teixeira up. The only infielder on the left side is David Wright.
It's interesting that the infield shifts with the outfield play straight away.
And the count 1-1.
You see the defensive setup by the Mets.
Two 2-1. 2-2.
It's been one of those years for Teixeira. Just when you think he's coming out of it and really getting going, then he slides back a little bit. But even so, he's got 44 runs batted in with the grand slam today. I remember a former teammate of mine, Bob Bailey, when I was playing for the Expos back in the day, he used to say, you know, that batting average will go up and down, but they can't take away those home runs and runs batted in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here's the payoff. Swing and a foul tip held on to by Barajas. And the 20-year-old Mejia works a 1-2-3 7th inning. We go to the 8th. It's 4-0 Yanks. In computer world and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. We go to the 8th, getting dark here at the stadium as Jeff Francoeur digs in against CC Sabathia. It's starting to rain a little bit as well. And there's a strike. 4-0 Yankees. Sabathia has been outstanding. Francoeur's 0 for 2. And the 0-1. Foul back. Well, this rain was in the forecast. There was a 30% chance of it, so the 30% won. 70% lost. Let's see how hard it comes down.
You can feel the cool air filtering into the stadium, along with the rain.
The 0-2. Driven into left center field, giving chase is Granderson. He got a good jump, and he hauls it in for the first out. That's our Yes Network tracking system, and it's moving across the Hudson River. Green is not good when it comes to weather, and yellow is even worse, and red could be the worst of all. So it's heading toward Yankee Stadium. Yankees and the Mets would like to hold off for another inning. A little bit of a wind whipping up here at the stadium. Here is Tejada.
That sandwich was good.
Here's a strike. Tejada doubled his last time up to right field. That one is nubbed off the end of the bat to Sheriff Fields, and he's going to tag out Tejada for the second inning. Yankee Stadium became a little bit of a Hollywood movie studio before the game. Ty Pennington of ABC's Extreme Makeover Home Edition. They helped the Lutz family from East Setauket, New York, and they helped build them a house, and the Yankees took part in it as well. Just a really nice moment, and that show will be on a little bit later in the year on ABC. It's an incredible story of the Lutz family, and you got to tune in to find out about it. But they were here at the stadium earlier.
Yeah, the premise of that whole show is really, heartwarming stories that they help families out across America. And now a chance for a family here in the New York area.
What they try to do is build a home or rebuild a home in about 7 days. Time called by Mike Cervelli. Sabathia's trying to complete 8 innings for the third time this year. His pitch count is in great shape at 98. Reyes 0 for 3 has an 11-game hitting streak working. The 0-1. Big healthy cut. And the count 0-2.
Almost came out of those shoes that said he's an electric player. He's got electric shoes on, too. Corkscrews himself into the ground.
And the 0-2. Chopped toward first. Teixeira steps on the bag in a 1-2-3 inning for Sabathia. He has been brilliant through 8. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-0 Yankees. season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are CC Sabathia. I think you could stop right there. Mark Teixeira, big hit. Derek Jeter or Brett Gardner. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. So it started to rain so hard between innings, the umpires had no choice but to put the tarp on the field. And obviously they're going to wait for a long time to try to get the Mets a little bit better of a chance to come back from a 4-0 deficit. Yankees with a win and the Rays with a loss. The last time we checked, the Rays were losing. The Yankees would move into sole possession of first place in the East and also have the Major League's best record. But one team you can't ignore, and they beat the Dodgers 2 in a row, is the Red Sox. They've crept back into it, Kenny.
Yeah, certainly the Yankees losing a few games here to the Rays, in their first real slide of the season. All of a sudden, their starting pitching has not been as good as it has been in the past, and they haven't been hitting as well. So now all of a sudden, they've come back to the pack. The Yankees and the Rays tied for first, and you're right. The Red Sox, things starting to go well. Their pitching starting to come to the forefront. They get into pretty good hitting, and they're right there. This is what we thought was going to happen. At the beginning of the season, spring training, we thought these three teams would be battling it out in the Eastern Division.
And you know what? We can't forget the Blue Jays because they're not going away. They're just 4.5 out. And the two teams in the American League East are going to be very, very disappointed. Yeah. Now, the bottom line with the Yankees, and I asked Joe Girardi this earlier, people talk about the lack of hitting the previous 3 games before yesterday, and everybody wants to pick this apart. Teixeira's not hitting. Alex doesn't have home runs. But coming into today, the Yankees had the best record in baseball, and Joe said, I understand the media has to report on that day. He said, I have to look at a broad picture. He said, but the broad picture for me is our pitching, our starting pitching has been so good. That's why we are where we are. And Sabathia continues that today.
It's just another example of what's been going on. If CC wins this game today, it'll be his 4th consecutive win in 4 starts. So he's on track. This is about the same time last year he began to take off, and you started to think of him in Cy Young terms as far as getting the award. Of course, Greinke won it last year, but this is what happened with Sabathia about this time a year ago.
We expected a pitcher's duel today, and we certainly have gotten that. Santana made one mistake, and that one mistake leads us to the Land Rover drive of the game. Why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Well, let's go back to the 3rd inning with the bases loaded. I believe it was the 3rd consecutive changeup that Teixeira got, and he got into it. A grand slam home run. That's our Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, a win today by the Yankees in this game by no stretch of the imagination is over. A win today, and the Yankees go 6-3 on this homestand. And one thing that they've done very well is defend their home court so far this year. Ever since the place opened last year, Kenny, this has been a place the Yankees are very comfortable in. Not just their hitters, but I believe that their pitchers know how to pitch to this ballpark as well.
Well, the Yankees had the fewest home losses in the league. If they win today, they'll be 25-10 right here in Yankee Stadium.
And also, if you look at this, the Yankees with Sabathia on the mound, he's 4-0 at home, and that could improve to 5-0 on the road. He's 3-3. Well, we still have a lot to go. Obviously, what we're going to do during this rain delay is we will entertain you one way or the other. In a moment, we'll throw it back to Bob Lorenz back in the studio with Jack Curry. Stay right here. It's going to be fun on Yes. will take over on the mound, and we want to remind everybody that Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Heineken Light. See the light by Panasonic Viera with 3D this lifelike. Can we still call it a TV? And by Acura Advance. So a short rain delay. The tarp is off. The crew did a great job, as they always do, and Alex Rodriguez will lead off against the new Met pitcher, Fernando Nieve, as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. And the pitch is outside, 1-0.
Yeah, great call by Dan Cunningham, the head groundskeeper, and the crew chief, Mike Riley, who is stationed at second base today to get the field covered. Now we're ready to go again.
Sharp ground ball to second base. And there's one away. A 22-minute rain delay. .480 for the Yankees, 0-4-0 for the Mets.
New pitcher in the game is Fernando Nieve. So Mejia had a scoreless inning with a strikeout and gives way to Nieve.
Here's Cano and Mariano getting ready. Cano 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. And the 1-0. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Nieve a little inconsistent out of the bullpen with the 19 walks.
Shattered bat. Ike Davis fields and flips to Nieve for the second out. Ike Davis fielded and adeptly avoided that bat as well.
Here's a pitch getting in on the label. Oh, man. A bat destroyer. All Robinson Cano can do is pass that baton. The handle of the bat. Here's Davison. Nonchalantly picked up the ball. Let the bat go by.
Here's Posada. Posada 1 for 3. Hit the ball hard last time. Nice running catch coming in by Angel Pagan. And the pitch inside. 1-0. I wonder, Kenny, with the Yankee bullpen up, did the rain delay take CC out, or did his pitch count take him out?
Where was he as far as pitches are concerned? He had pretty good.
He was at 99.
99? He could have gone one more inning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He pitched so beautifully today. A 4-hit shutout over 8 innings.
So in that regard, I think the answer to your question is the rain delay got him out, although it wasn't one of those lengthy delays that you see.
Well, it'll be close to 25 minutes. He would have been sitting on the bench.
That can be like a long half inning with your team scoring 6-7 runs for you.
I think maybe if it had been, 4th inning, they probably would have sent him back out there. But I think in this sense, they've got Robertson and they've got Mariano. They might go that route. They know they need CC for the long haul, so why push him here? Serve down the left field line. It is a base hit. It's going to go into the corner as Posada chugs into second with a double. 2-out double for Posada.
Well, the Mets offensively were not expecting that. Everybody pulled well around with Posada hitting left-handed. He just serves this one down the left field line. Matter of fair or foul, it's fair by about 1.5 feet. And Jason Bay cuts it off, but Jorge's going to have himself a 2-base hit with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nice hitting. Pick up that second hit of the day.
Makes the flight seem a little shorter at Arizona. Here's Granderson. He's 1 for 3. There's a strike and the count 1-1.
Speaking of getting that second hit of the day, Granderson is 1 for 3. Always like to get away with a 2-hit game, multiple hit game.
The double by Posada, the Yankees' 9th hit of the game. CeCe's trying to pick up his 8th win. Santana, who was a pitcher of record on the losing side, would go to 5-4, the 2. There's a ground ball to second base. Tejada gobbles it up and gets Granderson for the final out of the 8th inning. No runs a hit and 1 man left. Last licks coming up for the Mets as we go to the top of the 9th. Yankees up by 4. Worthy of a look on the IOTV HD Super Shot.
Yeah, pitch on the inner third of the plate. 2-0 count to Mark Teixeira. This is the 3rd inning. The bases were loaded, but not for long. When this ball lands in the seats in left center field, distant left center field, right at you. And it's a grand slam home run. One swing of the bat.
And there he is. At first base, Mark Teixeira. The Yankees make a defensive change, which tells you all you need to know about how Alex's hip flexor is. They want to take it very conservatively, and he still doesn't have the greatest lateral movement, so they bring in Ramiro Pena to play 3rd. Kim Jones on the postgame show will check to see if it flared up again. I just think they're making sure. But here's Mariano Rivera to try to close it out. It's not a safe situation. His numbers are brilliant as always. In his last 10 appearances, 10 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. Angel Pagan starts it off. And a strike.
You know, I wonder if the rain delay itself, took CeCe out of the game. Could it possibly have taken Alex out of the game?
Maybe.
With him sitting.
Good point. Pagan 1 for 3. Pitch high. Florida's beaten Tampa Bay 4-1. Yankees hold on. They move into a first place by 1 game over Tampa. Red Sox and the Dodgers play tonight. San Francisco leading Toronto 9-3. That's in the bottom of the 8th in Rogers Center. And there's a ground ball toward first. Teixeira steps on the back. Pagan's out with the first out. And after the final out of this Subway Series, join Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry back in the studio for the WB Mason postgame. You get highlights, you get analysis for this entire series, and also look around the rest of the majors. And the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up only on Yes. Bob and Jack put in some extra time, extra credit, rain delay. More of that on the postgame show, joined by Kimberly Jones from here at the stadium. Here's David Wright. Pitch inside. Mo is closing in on his own personal no-hitter. He's held opponents hitless in their last 20 at-bats, so 7 more outs to go for a no-hitter. The 1-0. Inside, 2-0. And the pitch. Poured a strike right in there at 92 miles an hour. So the Mets are finishing up a long road trip. And you know what? When you total up what they did, it's pretty good. They'll be 7-2 unless they come back here. Now there's only 1 out to go as Swisher drifts back. 2 outs here in the ninth.
Well, the Mets have kind of fought their way back into it in the National League East. Jerry Manuel has done a good job. I mean, they were got a lot of criticism early in the year when the Mets were struggling, but now all of a sudden they've got themselves back into it. The Braves are playing very well. The Phillies have kind of gotten on hard times right now. I think that's going to be a battle all the way to the end in the Eastern Division in the National League.
Phillies already lost to the Twins today, and the Braves and the Royals are tied at 5, bottom of the 7th in Atlanta. Here's Ike Davis. And the pitch is outside. So the Mets won 3 against Baltimore, 3 against the Indians in the first game here, but it looks like they're going to lose the last 2 here. And the Yankees, the same time, the Mets are on the road, they were at home, and the Yankees are trying to go 6-3 in their 9 games. And it was more significant for the Mets because they had been so dreadful on the road. And a good tonic for that will be the Orioles and the Indians, the way they've played this year. The 2-0 to Davis, and a strike.
And just as we surmised while we were in Baltimore, just before the Mets got there, a lot of Met fans showed up at Camden Yards. They had a couple of crowds over 40,000 on the weekend.
The 2-1. There's a strike. And the Mets down to their final strike. And the pitch. Right back up the middle. Jeter is there. He fires to first, and the Yankees win 4-0. Mariano in the 9th inning retires the Mets 1-2-3, and the Yankees take this leg of the Subway Series. And for the Yankees franchise, it is their 9,500th victory. And the Yankees are alone in first place for the first time since April 21st. And a 1-game lead in the American League East is the Yankees' largest lead of the season. So they've been fighting uphill since April. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game. Now in the postgame, or should I say in the Subway Series, the Yankees and the Mets split the 6 games. The Yankees lost 2 out of 3 at Citi Field, and the Mets lost 2 out of 3 here at Yankee Stadium. CC Sabathia absolutely brilliant today. 8 innings of shutout ball, and Mariano Rivera got the final 3 outs. And Mark Teixeira with a grand slam provided the margin of victory and the only runs in the game as the Yankees beat the Mets 4-0. Speaking of Teixeira, he's with Kimberly Jones in front of the Yankee dugout. Kim?
He is indeed, Michael. On on the Grand Slam, Mark, was that a steady diet of change-ups from Santana?
Yeah, first two were change-ups, then I got a fastball in. He got in on me a little bit, but I got enough of it to get it out of the park.
The way CC was pitching today, do you know there we probably got him the cushion he needs?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing with CC. You know, you get him a lead, and he's going to hold it down. He does such a great job pitching ahead, and he was shut down all game.
How about you? 2 home runs, 2 days against really quality starters in Pelfrey and Santana.
Yeah, you know, you're not going to get a ton of runs off those guys, so a home run here and there really helps. And, you know, Curtis and I got one yesterday, and then the big home run today, that's all it took.
I know division champs aren't crowned on Father's Day, but first time in 2 months today, you're alone in first place. Significant?
You know, it just means that we've been plugging along, and we have a very tough division. Everybody knows that, and we've been battling through some injuries, and the biggest thing is that we're getting healthy, and hopefully we're going to keep winning ball games.
Thank you very much, Mark. Michael, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim, and thank you to Mark. So the Grand Slam, the difference, he hits home runs in back-to-back days, first time all year. So a lot to celebrate. We got some awards to give out, and then the post-game show with Bob and Jack.